The humble computer keyboard. This wonderful device that enables us to take words that we have in our minds and put them down onto a laptop, PC or tablet. This interface for our fingers enables us to be able to communicate key messages, communicate reports, talk to people in other countries, and do so much using words, spelling and grammar. Interestingly, this device is very much taken for granted. We don't really think much about using a keyboard, unless of course we do have challenges with dyslexia, for example, that maybe might require us to use a different interface, such as speech to text or more commonly dictation. But if we are using the keyboard and we want to type, then it's well known that if we can touch type, then we can be faster on the keyboard, we can get information down onto a Word document more rapidly, and we can boost our productivity. Touch typing is great, but if we do have challenges with spelling and grammar, then it doesn't matter how fast we are. If we're not accurate in what we're writing, then that presents challenges in terms of readability, or even just communicating the messages that we're trying to share using our written work. In this video, I want to explore the use of a spell checker to see if one can improve productivity when doing work. Personally, I spend a lot of time on my laptop every day writing content for various blog articles or writing reports for clients. And it can sometimes be quite a challenge when sometimes spelling mistakes take place and you have to go back and look at them and so forth. Sometimes it can be a challenge when you have to repeat certain phrases. It can become repetitive and monotonous. And so we can often find we get slowed down in our day-to-day typing, depending upon what our roles are. Right now I'm writing an article on how to improve productivity in the workplace using a spelling and grammar checker. Now what I've found very interesting about the one that I use, which is called Lightkey, is that it does measure how much I write in terms of words per minute, and it measures how many times corrections have been made on the spelling and grammar checker, but equally it can also tell me how much time I'm saving. So let me show you how it works, and then let me show you how much time I've saved over the past 3 months of using Lightkey. You've probably noticed as I started typing then, there's certain corrections were coming up on the screen in real time. And so that's kind of useful because I can just press the right hand cursor to select the predicted text if I think it's correct. So a little bit of time saved there. So I'm just going to type a bit more and then see what else comes up. So as I've been typing this part of my blog article, you'll notice that certain phrases have been coming up above the words, giving me suggestions for what it is that I might be trying to write. Now this particular piece of software, Lightkey, that I'm using, learns how I use the English language and learns the words that I typically use in any given piece of written text. And it's really interesting because then the predictions are based on my use of language, not a logical use of language, if that makes sense. Hopefully my use of language is logical. So it may not look like I'm particularly being sped up in terms of my productivity. And I must admit, before I started looking at spell checkers in this way, I kind of wondered about how much productivity I was gaining if I'm using a spell checker. But let me show you something. If I open up the Lightkey dashboard, it can give me some personal metrics on how I work. Now, I've been using Lightkey for about 12 weeks, and it's given me some readbacks in terms of time gained on various weeks and so forth. And you'll notice that since I've been using it, I have saved 8.4 minutes. Now, that doesn't sound like an awful lot of time in 3 months, does it? And you're absolutely right. If you're thinking that and that you're not impressed, of course, why would you be impressed with that? But let me give you a perspective. When I look down to the bottom of these readbacks, you can see that my daily typing time is almost 16 minutes, and that's the average. So every day, amazingly, I feel like I write loads. I average about 16 minutes a day of typing in all the tasks that I use across all the different programs on my laptop. So here's the thing then. If my average daily typing time is 16 minutes and I'm saving almost 8.5 minutes, then what this is telling me is that I've saved half a day in time and productivity. I've improved my productivity. What's more as well is that over this time I'm fairly accurate with my typing. I'm not seeing that many words corrected, but what it has done for me is that it's given me a higher efficiency on my typing, and this is about speed. So I apparently type at 66 words per minute, and you can see here that with this value here of 100.85%, what this is telling me is that actually my normal typing before using Lightkey would have been 100%. That's how it allocates the efficiency. And so I've improved my efficiency in typing. So in using Lightkey and the ability to predict text based on my own use of language, I've improved my typing efficiency, and I've saved half a day's worth of typing over the past 3 months.